Rest should be there. Good morning, one and all. I'm audible, please check. Is am audible? Is anyone give me confirmation? Am audible? Just please give me confirmation. Am audible? Is am audible? Give me confirmation.
It's audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. The last class we discussed about the procedural steps for the design of journal bearings. In that, the first step is select the recommended design value by taking the type of machinery and the type of bearing. By referring the table 24.2, you go for select the recommended design value, such as the maximum pressure, diameter clearance ratio, and the ratio of L by D ratio, then observed viscosity, and then bearing modulus. Right? So the first step. Second step, design the bearing. What are the bearings you go for design here? One is it may be a length of the bearing or the diameter of the journal. How do you design? So once take the allowable the bearing pressure is that is equal to load by projected area. From this the allowable bearing pressure is you have to select 50 to 60% of the maximum pressure. Right? From this which is unknown here, take that unknown or determine the unknown and round up that value. Once you round up that value, the dimension, you check the dimension whether it is within the limit of naught. The L by D ratio is within the limit of naught by the recommended value. And the recommended value, check it. Right? If it is within the recommended value, then you go for further steps. First step is select the recommended design value. Second one is design the bearing. And third step is select the type of foil. So by referring the figure number 24.2 or 24.2b, the absolute viscosity will get from the first step and operating temperature we have to assume 65 degrees centigrade. If the value is not given, then assume the operating temperature is 65 degrees centigrade. Then take the type of foil. That type of foil varies from A to K in that figure. But you don't know what is A, B, C, D up to K, the type of foil. Then again refer the figure. So the table 24.1 will get what type of oil you choose. Once you select the oil, then you go for check the oil whether it is suitable for the applications, whether bearing applications or not. How do you check? Now go for determine the actual, the bearing modulus or induced bearing modulus and compare with the recommended bearing modulus. The modulus is a constant, is a property it is. Now the property, the induced property of the bearing modulus should be greater than the recommended, then you get the result is safe. Means whatever the lubrication you have considered as a thick lubrication, the design is safe for the selected lubricating rod. Next, fifth step, now heat is generated between the journal and the lubricating oil and from the lubricating oil to the various surfaces. Then how much heat is generated? How to determine the heat is generated by using equation number 24.72. A. In this heat is generated is equal to total of friction into bearing pressure, the length and diameter, and in terms of velocity of the journal. This percent of friction is calculated by using Mackey equation, not the Petrov equation. By using Mackey equation, we go for determine the source is the friction. The remaining things are already we know that. Substitute you get heat generated. This is the one formula we use to generate the heat between the bearing and the journal. Another formula also we use to determine that how much heat is generated if we know the specific heat and the operating temperature. Right, difference in inlet and outlet temperature of the oil, if you know that, then you go for use the equation number 24.72 C to determine the heat generated. So unless if you not specify that in the column not given the data, then you not use this formula. Once heat is generated, then you go for designer has to remove that heat. How do you dissipate it? How do you remove the heat? The three modes of heat transfer here: conduction, convection, radiation. Here usually the what type of mode of heat transfer takes place here? One is convection, other one is radiation. Now again, the heat dissipated by using the equation 24.77. The heat dissipated is equal to C into A difference in temperature. What is C? The coefficient combined, the coefficient of radiation and convection is given the directly that value. A is nothing but the effective surface area of the bearing house. It is 25 times of D into L. Then difference in temperature, the bearing and ambient temperature. The bearing temperature is unknown. Then how to determine bearing temperature? The difference in bearing temperature is calculated by the operating temperature and ambient temperature. The half of the operating and difference of operating and ambient temperature. Right? The other two formulas also used to determine heat dissipate. One is a Patterson equation, another one is by considering the protected area of the bearing. Next, now the last class we stopped up to this, right? Now in the seventh step, the first step, select the recommended design value. Second step, design the bearing. Third step, select the suitable oil, lubricating oil. Then check the oil for the lubrication purpose. Then fifth step, heat is generated. Sixth step, heat is dissipated. Right? Then seventh step is the minimum oil film thickness, H minimum, and its location. As you know, the what is the H minimum? So just I will go for the H minimum is minimum oil film thickness. Yeah, it's the radial distance between the bearing and the journal. That is what as the minimum oil film thickness. And where it is located with respect to that the bearing rotating counterclockwise direction, this will be the location. Now these two things we want to determine, right? Yeah. Now the minimum oil film thickness, H minimum, and its location. First we'll go for determine the minimum oil film thickness, H minimum. Again from the data handbook, equation number 24.33. The minimum oil film thickness variable it is. The variable is represented as delta. The minimum oil film thickness variable delta is equal to 2 times of H minimum by C. It is also equal to 1 minus epsilon. Right? So here, which is unknown here, our aim is to determine H minimum. If I want to calculate H minimum, I should know delta and also I should know CC. Already we know the diameter clearance. Then what is the minimum oil film thickness variable? How do you determine unknown? The unknown we can determine by, so how to determine delta? By referring figure number 24.13a, that is page number 24.33. The minimum oil film thickness variable, the delta, it depends upon two parameters. One is summer field number, another one is L by D ratio. L by D ratio. Right, from this we go for take the delta. Once you determine delta, see already we know that the diameter clearance, that is the difference between the diameter of the bearing and diameter of journal. Then you can easily calculate H minimum. Now I'll move on to the figure number 24.13. How to take the delta value, minimum oil film thickness variable. Now remember that what is the figure number 24.13 A, 24.13 A. is 24.138. Now the data handbook visible. Give me confirmation. To the figure 24.138, page number 24.32. See that in the figure 24.138, the variation of minimum oil film thickness, that is delta, and its attitude epsilon for the full journal bearing with the bearing characteristic number S. Now, if you want to calculate delta, minimum oil film thickness delta, then the x-axis is what? Bearing characteristic number S. S you can determine. X is equal to what? Eta into n prime by p 1 over by xi square. Eta is absolute viscosity. Already we know that actual absolute viscosity. N prime is the speed of the journal in revolution per second. P is the actual bearing pressure. Xi is the diameter clearance ratio. Right? C by small d. Now this value we know that we calculated. What is our unknown thing is? Unknown thing is y-axis. Delta I want to determine. How do you determine? Again, from the given S value and L by D ratio. For example, somewhere here, S value is what? Suppose 0.2. L by D ratio is 1. The L by D ratio is 1. In this curve, again take the horizontal line. This is the way you have to calculate delta. Okay, when it comes to solve the problem, come to know that how to use the figure. Yeah, next once you calculate delta, then that substitute to the equation number 24.33, you'll get H minimum. Right? Suppose this is the what? There is no side leakage. If you want to use the side leakage, then you go for F1 figure 24.26 to know the relationship between CW, V by L and delta. Then again now where do you get C suffix W? Again that's for this figure 24.24. Usually not consider side leakage. In the problem specifically mentioned use side leakage, then we go for F for this figure 24.26 to determine delta. Next, location. How do you get the location? The location pi, you can refer again figure number 24.11a, the page number 24.30. Again, for the given value of S, sum of fill number and L by D ratio, you go for character pi value. Okay, when you go for solve the problem, directly you go for use the figures. Okay, that completes the step number 7. Next, what is step number 8? Now you go for determine the flow rate and without end leakage and with end leakage. The rate of flow of the lubricating oil to the bearing. So first we consider the flow rate without side leakage or end leakage. Now how do you determine the rate of flow? That is Q I want to determine without side leakage or end leakage by referring the equation 24.70. In the 24.70, the flow variable lambda suffix q, that is equal to 4 times of q into xi whole divided by c square n prime l. Now our aim is to calculate what? The flow rate without side leakage. The q I want to determine. If I want to determine q, I should know the lambda suffix q, but lambda suffix q is unknown. How to determine lambda suffix q? Again, refer the figure 24.37. That shows the flow variable. That in the figure again, it depends upon what? One is bearing characteristic number, that is sum of fill number. Another one is L by D ratio. Then xi already we know that diameter clearance ratio. C is the diameter clearance. N prime also we know that. L also we know that. Only unknown thing you have to determine is Q. If you want to determine Q, this is the unknown parameter is lambda suffix Q. Then how do you determine lambda suffix Q? Flow variable by referring the figure number 24.37. This is the formula used for flow rate without side leakage and end leakage. Suppose if the side leakages are there, end leakages are there, then we will go for use the equation in the design data handbook. It's equation number 24.71b. In the same equation, if it is here, that this is a modified equation of that one. Only the one more parameter included here, C suffix Q. Again, in this our aim is to determine Q, the flow rate with the side leakage, Again, lambda suffix q, you know how to calculate lambda suffix q? Reference the previous the figure, right? Then C also we know that N prime L, they also we know that. Now only unknown is C suffix q. What is C suffix q is called as flow correction factor taken from the equation figure 24.338. Again, in the figure, the flow correction factor depends upon what? The B by L, the bearing, the length of the direction of the motion divided by length of the bearing into delta. Delta is what? Flow variable, right? Minimum oil thickness variable. Then how do you calculate beta? The length of the direction of motion. That is you get, again, that's for the equation number 24.19. 5 into d pi d beta ordered by 360 degrees. Right? This is the what is the B by L. No, if you remember here in the data and the itself, or when you refer the corresponding figure number, below the figure number itself, they are given that the explanation. What is B by L? The length in the direction of motion to the length in the direction perpendicular to the motion. Then how to calculate length in the direction of motion? It is pi d by 360 degree into beta. For full journal bearing, length in the direction of motion is pi into d only. Beta 360 degree, 360 degree get cancelled. Right? This is the way you have to calculate the oil flow rate. One is without end leakage, with end leakage. That completes step number 8. Next, step number 9. How to calculate side leakage or side flow lubricant? So again, from the figure 24.39, again if you calculate S and L by D ratio, now we'll get what? Oil flow ratio. Oil flow ratio you can get from the figure 24.39, that depends upon sum of field number and L by D ratio. From this, which is unknown here, Q suffix X is the unknown. Q suffix X is the unknown. Now Q already we know that with the considering end leakage or side leakage, oil flow rate with the side leakage, Q already we know that in the previous step. Then oil flow ratio will obtain from the figure 24.39. Then determine what? Q suffix X. That's the 9th step. Next, last step is power loss due to friction. This equation is not available in the data handbook. You should remember. What is the power loss due to friction? N suffix mu is equal to mu, the coefficient of friction, and how much load is acting on the shaft, and V is the circumference speed of the shaft, pi d n by 60, and the whole with 1000. That gives power loss due to friction in kilowatt. Remember this equation. Clear? There are 10 steps are there in the design of journal bearing. The first step, select the recommended design value. Second step, design the bearing. Third step, select the suitable lubricating oil. Then check for the lubricating oil. Fifth step, how much the quantity of heat is generated in the bearing. Then how do you dissipate that heat? The seventh step, the minimum oil film thickness and its location. And the eighth step, the oil flow rate, the considering end leakage and without side leakage and with side leakage. Ninth step, what is the side flow lubricant or side leakage, and 10th step it is power loss due to friction. These are the 10 steps you should remember. So again, before going to solve the problem, then some of the assumptions. What are the assumptions you should follow here? Suppose if the type of journal bearing is not given, it may be a partial or full journal bearing. If the beta value is not given, then we go for assume what type of journal bearing it is, full journal bearing. Then operating and ambient temperature of the bearing is not given. Then we go for assume operating temperature is 65 degree. Ambient temperature means surrounding temperature, air temperature or room temperature it is 25 degree centigrade. Suppose in the problem some other formulas also used in order to calculate these things. What are the other formulas? One is kinematic viscosity. Already we use this formula in the equation number 24.7. Then specific weight of the room, the specific weight, okay, of the lubricating. So specific weight of lubricating oil. Then we go for use this equation 24.10. And as usual, you know that the unit conversion 1 pi is equal to 10 to the power of -1 Pascal second or Newton meter per second. So Newton second per meter square. So Newton second per meter square. Right? One stroke is nothing but what? 10 to the power of -4 meter per second. Clear? So remember this, the unit conversions and other formulas. Yes, shall you go first? Design the problem, design the journal bearing. Yes, please read this problem. Let's take this problem. Design the main bearing for a stationary slow speed steam engine for the following data. Right? The general diameter is 200 mm. The maximum load on the piston is 80 kilonewton and engine speed is 200 rpm. Yes, read the problem once or twice. After that, then write the given data. So what are the given data? Given data. Yes, design the main bearing for a stationary slow speed steam engine for the following data. And general diameter is 200 mm. Now what type of bearing it is? It is a journal bearing. It's a journal bearing. Design the main bearing of a stationary slow speed steam engine. The type of bearing is given. The journal bearing, what type of bearing? It is a main bearing. Main bearing. For what type of machine? What type of machine it is? It is a stationary slow speed steam engine. Stationary slow speed steam engine. Right? Next. For the following data, general diameter. So again, if you want the sketch, better you take the appropriate sketch. So what type of bearing it is? A journal bearing. So take the appropriate sketch for the journal bearing. Right? Yeah, the general diameter. What is the general diameter? How do you represent general diameter? Just give me a response. Is I'm audible? Just please try to solve.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please try to solve. Otherwise, if you want to solve this same problem, by one means it takes more than 2-3 hours. Okay. Yeah. Given data, type of bearing is the general bearing. In that, what type of bearing it is? Main bearing. What type of machine? Stationary slow speed steam engine. Next, the general diameter. The general diameter represent as small d. Small d is how much? 200 millimeter. Next, the maximum load on the piston. What is the maximum load on the piston? That load is transferred to the shaft. That is capital W. Maximum load on the piston that is transferred to the shaft. How much it is? 80 kilonewton. Then engine speed. Engine speed, check the what is the unit here? Is given 200 revolutions per minute. 200. There is the engine speed represented as N. That is 200 revolutions per minute. Now we'll go for complete design. Right? Design the main bearing. Completely go for design the bearing. So what do you mean by the completely design means? First we go according to the steps, certain step. Right? Once you write the given data, please check the units. The type of bearing is journal bearing. Under that is the main bearing. It is machine is stationary slow speed engine. And diameter is given. Millimeter is there. Count into meter. 200 millimeter. As you know that 1 millimeter is equal to 10 raised to power of minus 2 meter. Now we'll get 0.2 meter. Unload is the kilonewton is the convert into Newton. 80 into 10 raised to power of 3 Newton. Then revolutions per minute is given. Speed converted to revolutions per second. That is n dash. N prime. N prime that is equal to n by 60. That is equal to 200 by 60. That is how much you got? Yes, please calculate and tell me the answer.
Sir, 3.333.
3.333. 3.333 revolution per second. Revolution per second, right? Yes. Any other data are required here? Other data. The first other data is the linear speed or circumferential speed. Linear speed or overall circumferential speed. What is the representative of linear speed? Circumferential speed is V is equal to pi dn by 60 or pi into d into pi into d into n by 60 or n dash. This is the other data. Let's calculate pi into d.
Sir,
D is
2
how much?
point
0.2. Just 1 minute. N prime is 3.33. Now, how much value you got?
sir 2.094
2.094 unit meter per
meter per second, sir.
second. Right? These are the other data. And the type of bearing is given. Is a partial journey, partial journal bearing or full journal bearing. Any other the data is given? No. Then you go for assume. What is the assumption? Assume.
Full journal bearing, sir.
Yeah. Assume. First assumption is full journal bearing. Once it is full journal bearing, what is the value of beta?
360.
360 degree. Beta is equal to 360 degree. Yes. Now the temperature is given.
No, sir.
No, the temperature of the bearing, the operating temperature is not given. The ambient temperature is also not given. Then you go for take. What is operating temperature? Operating temperature. That is T suffix naught. That is equal to how much? 65 degree. And ambient temperature is how much? Ambient temperature T suffix A. That is equal to 25 degree centigrade. Okay, 10 minutes time has left. One session is ended. Please move on the session. Yes. Next. Now you go according to the procedure. Now you go for according to the procedure. So what is the first step?
Select the recommended design.
Yes, select the recommended
Design value for the given.
Yes, go take this first step. Yes. Select the recommended design value for the given type of machinery and varying from the table 24.2. Now tell me the what type of machinery it is. First it is the machinery. What type of machinery? Stationary. See that machine. What type of machine it is? Stationary, slow, speed, steam, engine. Is it right? Next, type of bearing. What type of bearing it is? It is a main bearing. Main bearing. Clear? Now we'll go to the table 24.2. Go to table 24.2. The table 24.2. Now visible. See that? Table 24.2, general bearing design practice. The machinery. What type of machinery it is? The type of machinery is given. See that automobile, gas and oil, marine steam engine, stationary, slow speed engine. In this, what type of bearing? Second column, main bearing. Then you go for take these data. These data you take. Clear? Let's please copy that. Yes. But stationary slow speed engine, the main bearing. So what is the maximum pressure? The maximum pressure is equal to how much? 3.42 MPa. Now convert that into Newton per meter square. 3.42 megapascal. Mega means 10 raised to power of 6. Pascal means Newton per meter square. Is it right? Next, diameter clearance ratio. What is the diameter clearance ratio? That is xi is equal to C by D. Xi is equal to C by D. That what is the value is given? Less than 0.001. Diameter clearance ratio is less than 0.001. Is it right? Sorry. The maximum pressure is, sorry, is a stationary, right? This is a 2.75. So make it correction. Stationary slow speed engine. This is the value if you take. Stationary slow speed engine in this, the marine. This value you should take, right? Yes, please take these values. This is 2.75. 2.720 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. What the diameter clearance ratio is? Less than 0.001. So what is L by D ratio? L by D, that ratio should be approximately where is from? Where is from 1.0 to 2.0. Next, viscosity. The viscosity you should take in both the unit. One is centipoise, another one is Pascal second. Viscosity that is equal to 16 centipoise or over 16 to 10 raised to power of minus 3 Pascal second or Newton second per meter square. Is it right? Then bearing modulus. Bearing modulus is a recommended bearing modulus. This is what recommended. That's important. Recommended bearing modulus. How much it is? 48.4. What is the unit of recommended bearing modulus? Is there any unit? It's into 10 raised to power of minus 9. No units, right? Into 10 raised to power of minus 9. 10 raised to power of minus 9. Yes, any doubt regarding this? Those who have doubts are there, please unmute yourself and clarify the doubt. Yes. Any doubts is that in the first step? Just give me a response.
No, sir.
Okay. So after this, for the next step, second step. For the second step, design the bearing, right?
Then of
Second step is design the bearing.
ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ನೂರು ಒಂದು ನೂರು 150 ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು
Design the bearing. It is L by D, L or D, right? Already we know the diameter of the journal, right? Yeah, select the allowable pressure. P allowable as 50 to 60% of maximum pressure. Yes, that is. So first you go for select the allowable pressure. Now, how do you determine allowable pressure? P allowable is approximately equal to 50 to 60% of the maximum pressure. 60% of maximum pressure. Now I will consider 60%. 60% of maximum pressure. 60% is how much? 60 by 100 into what is the P maximum you got? 2.0.